Hi everybody, Terry Pullinger to my first opportunity to respond to the news today about the imposition of the 2% on pay. I'll talk about the strategic, ridiculous strategic decision of the business in a minute. First of all, I want to say that I was due in London this morning, where I've been, in Westminster, talking about our new pension scheme, with pensions regulator, etc. All good stuff, all really positive. You know, how other workers could benefit from what the ground that we've broke with that pension scheme, etc. But prior to that, last night I had a request, or yesterday I had a request from the CEO for me to meet with him and Zarina Brown, who's like the HR director, urgently, either yesterday evening or this morning, first thing this morning. So I met them at 7:15 this morning in London in a coffee shop prior to going into this other meeting, and they told me, apart from saying all how bad the company is and how bad everything is, they told me of their intention to introduce the 2% by executive action. I cautioned them not to do that. I said that will take things even further backwards. That will help with the biggest yes vote this union's ever had in respect to the way the employers are treating us, and they should rethink. They've made a number of serious bad strategic decisions, in my opinion, if they're genuine about having a relationship and honouring our agreements. Plus, last week in the talks, their negotiating team assured us there'd be no executive action on pay or on change, and at no time, whilst they said that's what their intention was, at no time did they say that was going to be today. The communications were going out today. So now I know why it was so urgent. They wanted to be able to say to people they'd told me. Now that is not the relationship, and that will never happen again when there's a request for an urgent meeting the way it was yesterday. So it's an absolute outrage. I don't see what they're gaining out of it. 2% is nowhere near acceptable. We are still balloting. We knew they were offering 2% anyway. But what it signals is that may be their attitudes toward change as well. So when we say we need to brace ourselves for possibly the biggest row with this employer in defence of you, the members, in defence of us all in the union, but in defence of this great public service, that could well be where we are. Because I tell you now, this is P&O in sheep's clothing. This is what it is. Imposing pay deals. Next they'll be trying to impose change. It's an absolute disgrace, and it's a major breakdown in relationships and trust on any level. So you're the first people that I'm speaking to about that. As I say, I don't think they're gaining anything out of it. They said pay had to be inextricably linked to change, and now they're just imposing 2% on you. But I think it's the wider issue which is a major concern. So it is absolutely imperative now, I tell you, that we make it clear to them, all of you in meetings and all this stuff, the pictures, videos, that 2% is nowhere near enough, and certainly is nowhere near enough to buy off the massive yes vote and support you've got for your trade union in a genuine inflation-based, no strings pay award. Because that message will also be the message to say any executive action will be challenged in the same way and be fought. We will never ever give up in fighting for this industry, and these people at the top of Royal Mail need to understand it seriously. Gloves are off.